Hi, I'm Rabbi Adam Stein, and this is 5 Minutes of Torah from BI Rabbi. I want to tell you about one of my favorite verses in the Torah. It's towards the beginning of Parashat Shmot, the Torah portion of Shmot, the beginning of Exodus, and actually it's really almost the beginning of the book of Exodus itself. It's chapter 1, verse 10. And Pharaoh is seeing that the children of Israel are growing and growing, becoming mighty and numerous after going down there with Jacob and his sons and Dinah, his daughter, and their families to join Joseph, who had already been there. And Pharaoh says to his courtiers, the people around him, his advisors, he says, Hava nitchakma lo. Let's deal shrewdly with them. And I love that word. I'll get back to it in a moment. He says, let's deal shrewdly with them so they may not increase. Otherwise, in the event of war, they'll join up with our enemies and fight against us and rise up from the ground. So this word I love is nitchakma, hava nitchakma. It's like hava nagila. Let us go dance. It's a cohortative, this hava nitchakma. Let's wizen ourselves. Let's use our wits against it, like Everett Fox translates. The one translation that we have in our Chumashim says, let us deal shrewdly. But Rashi and many other commentators point out, it doesn't say, let us deal shrewdly with them, as our translation says, but the Hebrew says, let's deal shrewdly with it, with this people. Or one other, Rashi gives several explanations. He often does, our greatest commentator on the Torah and the Talmud, Rashi. Another one is that when it says, let us deal shrewdly with him or it, it's let us deal shrewdly with their God. Their God whom they say is going to save them. Well, Moses hasn't even said, let my people go yet. But Rashi imagines Pharaoh sort of thinking about how he can outsmart God. And one way that he thinks of this is he says, well, if we punish the children of Israel, these Israelites, by the sword, well, their God will kill us with a sword. If we kill them with fire, to get rid of this annoying people in our midst, we'll be killed by fire. But if we kill them by water, and Pharaoh announces his decree to throw the baby boys into the river Nile, their God cannot retaliate with water, because already back in the beginning of the Bible, in chapter whatever of Genesis, maybe 9 or 11, the book of the story of Noah, God says, I will never bring a flood upon the earth. So Pharaoh knows his Bible according to this interpretation. But what we have here is Pharaoh saying, let's be smart about this situation and go about things in a sort of sneaky way. Not just kill them outright, but we'll make them slaves, but we'll sort of trickily make them slaves. One other interpretation is Pharaoh says, look at me, I'm making bricks, you're making bricks. Oh, I got to go home to my palace, make sure he makes some more bricks overnight, and eventually turns them into slaves. So if we think about, I was reading this great commentary by a modern rabbi, Mordechai Silverstein, and he brings out Rashi and he says, let's think about, over the centuries, many have tried to get rid of us or exile us or really wipe us out. But sometimes we realize there's only through redemption, when our destiny can rest in our own hands, we controlling our own fate, that we have the freedom to live and defend our life and identity. But of course, it's not easy overseeing our own destiny, our own identity. And when we're in charge of a place like we have the state of Israel for decades now, but we've seen the past few years with our friends and relatives in Israel, they've had 5 elections in a few years and now a new coalition. Things are tough, there's struggles. So we have Nico Slabinski, who heads up the western region of Sija. He's going to be with Rabbi Infeld at our next Lunch and Learn. It's not on the 19th, it's on the 26th. And he's going to discuss with Rabbi Infeld, and probably take questions, the current state of Israeli politics. And there's lots to talk about. I'm looking forward to being there myself with a bunch of rabbis through Israel Bonds on a trip in mid-February. Well, all the best and Shabbat Shalom. See you soon.